¿Dónde estás? La biblioteca. Me llamo T-Bone, la araña discoteca.
Discoteca, muñeca, la biblioteca. Es un bigote grande, pero manteca.
Manteca, bigote, gigante, pequeño. Cabeza es nieve, cerveza es bueno.
Buenos días, me gustas papas frías. Bigote de la cabra, de Cameron Díaz. Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
What? 2009.
Word.
Well, welcome to the Roy and Matt Show, and once again, big shout out to Norway and Jean Vater Wilhelmsok Dromenen Mein.
Nice.
That sounds awesome.
I nailed that.
Once again, what is that?
I said Jake's feet will haunt my dreams. We were just talking before we started. We were talking about.
We were talking about how we have to explain
Hold
things
on,
that the
why
audience
don't-
can't
look,
see.
I
and this
seem
is
to-
one of those things.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, man.
I remember 7 days ago when Jake felt free to tell a story about me and a snake.
That's true.
So I'm gonna just go
Karma
ahead and-
is a bee.
My grandma's name's Karma.
Well, your grandma. It's definitely not
Did
seeing
you
your
did
toes.
you get those feet from your grandma?
You know what? I think my dad, I don't know about my grandpa, but I think my dad had the same condition that I
Would
have.
it be?
To be fair, what size shoe do you wear, Jake?
These are size 16.
Yeah.
16.
Man up to that one.
So honestly, if my toes weren't the way they were, they'd probably be size 20.
All right, hold on. Yeah, no, that's where you're
Wait,
wrong.
though, your big
feet-
toe.
No, my
toe.
big toe is average. It's the other toes. I have hammer toes. So the other toes are curling in.
Hammer toes.
Don't
Don't want to touch those. Well,
Yikes.
anyway, let's
No,
introduce the people in the
yeah.
room. I'm Roy,
I'm Matt.
I'm Jake, the intern.
I'm producer Logan.
and today who we have with us is Julie. She is a guest. You might recognize the name Julie from last.
We gave a shout out last week.
Yeah, we did give a shout out last week. Julie had said to us while we were playing taglines, she had said to me at a function, I would bury you guys. And so we've invited
Which
her.
I agree with.
I don't doubt that, but you know what? Let's. It was so powerful, her critique of what we were doing, that I said, we've got to have Julie on the show. Julie, introduce yourself.
Welcome to the show.
Julie.
And Julie, what do you do?
Well, I'm a teacher.
You're a teacher. So
What grade do you teach?
I teach 5th grade,
what other grades have you taught?
2nd and 6th.
2nd and 6th. So you've run the gambit of all the
Pretty
pre-escent kids, and
That's a funny word to be embarrassed of.
I,
We've all hit puberty. Some more aggressively than others, but it's a universal truth.
I know. I
In
just
fact,
don't-
I think somebody on our show hit puberty, right? Just all of us. We had an issue with squeaky voices a couple weeks ago.
well,
It was
what
a
are you gonna
stretch
do?
of an inside joke, but it's an inside joke nonetheless.
Indeed.
Well, nonetheless, Julie is here to not only play taglines, but also to be our guest, and we're going to ask you a bunch of questions.
Why
Okay.
do you feel qualified to be on the show?
Well, I did tell Roy that I thought that I would bury him at the game. But then you guys did the Angelina Jolie one. I didn't do as well as that.
I
that
nailed
one.
it.
That one was harder for me.
Angie
Well,
Joe is tough.
I pulled out a couple of actors for our rounds today that I think might be a little bit difficult because knowing that you were going to be here, I wanted it to actually be kind of a challenge for everybody involved.
Wait, so you skewed it in her favor?
No. I skewed it against her because I went with some things that are less commonly known.
I think I'll decide if it is or
Wait,
isn't skewed.
Hold on. How many movies have you seen this last year, Matt? Just roughly.
Oh.
It's January, so I mean, let's go with the last calendar.
Does
year.
this count TNT on Saturdays when it's raining?
Nope.
It's like gone to the movies?
Yeah, gone to the movies.
10?
More than Jake, and he's on a film review show. Julie, how about you?
Zing.
I couldn't even begin to count.
You're a movie
You are a
fanatic,
school
right?
teacher. Beginning counting should be
more
something
than
you're good
more
at.
than 30.
Do you want to know how many movies I own?
Yeah, see, there's the
Sure.
difference.
Over 800 movies.
Over 800 movies.
Yeah.
Hello, Blockbuster.
See, there are those folks that cop out the dough to see them in the theater, and then I feel like I grew up in a family like Julie's where we just bought the movies when they came out.
Hey, intern.
Right.
Hey, intern Jake. How was Point Break?
I still haven't seen it.
I
know.
I
Julie,
I
do you
own
have-
it. I do own Point
Oh
Break.
my gosh.
May
I was going to
Did
bring
you
it tonight,
bring
and
it?
I forgot it.
Wow.
I think if Jake hasn't seen Point Break next time, he has to sit here, but he has a cone of silence
By
on.
myself.
Cone of silence.
Simply
And we
take
just
notes.
throw insults at him, but his microphone is shut off until he sees the movie.
I would at least still like a microphone to breathe into,
Yes, you can definitely.
just so everyone knows I'm here.
Of course.
After
I
every
think you'll
insult
see
and
it, though.
toe comment, I can just go,
Well, I'm just saying, until you've seen Point Point Break, you're not welcome, but Lucas is always welcome.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for that.
I will bring it and loan it to you, Jake,
Oh,
next
okay.
time I see
Thank you.
if I remember.
Excellent. So by next week, which is be a couple episodes from now, we'll at least be able to have a conversation about Point Break.
Finally.
Excellent.
Finally.
So let's move on. We have a few questions. Do you have teacher questions? We were talking about teacher stuff in the car on the way over.
Yeah.
I have a question for a teacher.
I do. Go ahead.
What's the strangest name of a child you've come across?
Oh, yeah.
Because I have to preface this. My mom was a teacher in the greater Sacramento area, and so I've seen some doozies, and so I'm curious what the best one you have.
I'm trying to think. Probably back when I was teaching second grade. I remember one time there was a boy in my class, and he had a brother, and they were just horrible, in trouble all the time. And the boy's name, literally all one word, was Jesse James, and his brother's name was Frank James, all one word, all one name. And I thought, you're just asking for trouble naming your kids Jesse
Jesse
James.
and Frank James.
Jesse James.
Well, it was Jesse James and Frank James. Like, James wasn't
What was
even
their last name?
a middle name. I can't even remember.
Oh, we're not supposed to say last names, but go ahead and tell them. They need to be outed.
I really seriously don't know. But the other story I have about names is I had one young man in my class when I was teaching second grade who, when they gave me the paperwork for him, and the first day of school, and you have little name tags all made up, and I had his name on his name tag, and his mom came to school the first day and said, that's not how he spells his name, and she changed it, and I made a whole new name tag and changed his name.
Right.
Well, then we had back to school night or whatever, and his dad came and he said, that's not how you spell his name, and he spelled it completely different.
Clearly,
and
they
so,
weren't divorced.
Yeah.
And then the next time Mom came, she said, absolutely not. That's not how we spell his name. And I thought, no wonder this kid doesn't know how to spell his own name, because his parents can't even decide
Right.
how to spell his name. And
Right.
it's frustrating.
So did they both show up during the parent-teacher conference?
I finally said, you guys need to decide how to spell this boy's name so I can teach him how to spell his name.
What grade were you teaching?
Second.
Oh, I was hoping you were say sixth. I wanted him to be in sixth grade.
To
All
be
those
miserable
years.
for all those
Yeah.
years?
I don't know.
He's just like, look, I just go by Bob.
Having kind of lived through an experience similar to that, though, it really sucks to be that kid.
Wait,
What?
you didn't know how to spell Logan?
How'd they spell Logan?
No, what
P
happened
was
with
silent,
what happened
wasn't
with
it?
my
No, not the P is silent. Yes, it is.
What
No
happened-
thought.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. So what was it? How did they? Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I want to know.
you
Two L's,
should,
one L.
no, you should know this because Logan's not my actual name, is it?
You know what? I'm sorry, I haven't gone
Yeah.
genealogy on your
No,
name.
because I actually have my middle name comes before my first name, and so in any school or government situation, anything like that, it's always
Mogan.
They call me by my my
Mogan
middle
Logan.
name, and there's a lot of people that have a middle initial, then their actual first name and their last name, and so I'm M. Logan, and it stands for Mark, and so anytime
Almost right with Mogan.
almost right,
Mogan Logan.
So
Although
so
Logan
through
Mogan would be just awesome.
through all of school, I was always called Mark, and a lot of the time I was able to say no, I actually go by Logan, and sometimes the teacher would care, and most of the time they wouldn't. So they just call me Mark. It got confusing because that's my dad's name. I don't know why my parents decided to do that, but it's been a frustration ever since. Just because it gets
Character
annoying.
builder.
Yeah, I guess so. So it's not fun for the kid either.
Did you do anything like that with your kids, Julie?
Why would you care if a kid goes by his, like, what
I don't-
teacher on earth would be like, no, I'm not using your middle name.
Well, I had a kid last year in 5th grade that his name was Charles. I'm going to say his name. And he said, no, my name's
Was
Steve.
he in charge?
No.
Heyo.
Heyo.
Nothing?
Hold on.
I
Say it
pretend like
again,
I
say it
am.
again.
Hold on, do it again. His name was what?
Charles.
Was he in charge?
Hey,
All right.
Charles.
Anyway,
Charles or Chuck?
Charles, and he told me his name is CJ. And so back to school night, his mom comes and I said, oh, he told me to call him CJ. And she said, no one on earth calls him CJ. And I said, how come you told me to call you CJ? And he said, oh, I heard that name in a video game and I liked it.
There
So
you go.
My,
Works. How old was he?
5th grader.
5th grader.
I have my older sister for a year changed her name to Emily.
And just for real or what? I mean, did your parents go with
She
that?
would only answer to it. If you called her by her actual name, she would just sit there and ignore you.
Out of respect to your family, I'm going to leave it alone. But it's a little strange.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is I have a daughter named Emily now.
Oh, well, there you go.
No,
Named after your sister.
About another 4 years, she's going to go by, I don't know, Martha or whatever.
We actually named her. We bet her name.
Okay.
So
That works.
Yeah, that's how we got the name Emily.
So I have a cousin who we have called Bruce forever. That was his name, not Bruce Forever, but I mean that was he was just Bruce. And
Forever.
then he married a woman who then decided that she wasn't really partial to the rest of the family, and since we all called him Bruce, she would call him a different name and forced him to change his name to Darren. And yeah, he's the nicest guy in the entire world, and she's a nice lady too. It's
She's
just
not.
She just made him change his
Who
name.
he was.
Look,
it was really strange.
If the sentence she made him change his name can
I
ever
know.
be applied to you, you are not nice. That's not a nice
listen.
thing. The definition of nice says you just accept someone's God-given name or parental given name and
Well, they would
and
say,
roll
that
with
was
it.
I know, but that was that was one of his either first or actually his Bruce was his middle name, Darren was his first name, and she just said, no, you're going by Darren, and that was that.
Wow.
And you know, I'm a little nervous in saying that because although we probably have 50 people who listen to us, someday it may get back to her, and I would feel moderately horrible.
You should feel fine. You just
I
told the
do.
factual story. I should
do.
only feel horrible because I said she's not
I think we
nice.
should start calling Logan Mark from now on.
And we just
I bet
might.
that would go over.
Producer
great.
Mark
Marky Mark.
sounds as
I thought we
just
all
as catchy.
I thought I made eye contact with everybody and we all silently agreed to call him Mogan.
Mogan.
Isn't that what that's what everyone's eyes said?
And I
Quit
also,
reading my eyes.
at the same time, silently agreed with everyone to cut you out of the show.
Zing.
Ouch.
That's what they're.
Wait a second.
The Logan and
So here we
Julie
go.
show.
We're going to come back to Julie's questions. So
Yeah.
Julie,
Yes.
we have attention deficit disorder.
Yes, we
for
do.
the most part. This
do.
group does. You've listened
You do.
to us. How, if we were in your class, I know you currently have kids that are like this. How do you
She'd
how do you
sit you
deal with
apart.
that? How do you deal with that?
She'd make you sit apart from each other. That's what she'd do.
Actually,
Let's let Julie,
active
the
kids,
professional.
talkative kids, I can deal with that. It's disrespect I cannot tolerate.
Lady, what do you know? No. And how do they show? How do today's youth generally? What do you
Show
perceive as a
disrespect?
disrespect?
Oh my gosh.
You
When I was
were-
teaching sixth graders, I had a student shout at the top of his lungs in the middle of class, "Shut the F up."
What?
Really?
I felt that was relatively disrespectful.
Yeah.
Was
I'll
he
say.
shouting it to you, or
Yes,
was he shouting it to
shouting it
somebody
to
else?
me.
Oh
Because
my god!
Wait, hold on. I want to know if that's relatively disrespectful relative to what? I guess like stabbing you.
That would be bad. That would be disrespectful.
So okay, let's role play this.
Okay.
Shut the. I can't even say it. Shut the up.
And I said, "Okay, let's go to the office."
That's it. That's it.
so
Why did I
did
think,
you have
I
to-
thought there was gonna be so much more. Like
I'm sorry.
Did you have to leave the classroom and take him down there to the office?
It was right at recess time. In fact, I told him that he lost recess because he'd done some other thing earlier, and he said, "I said you need to sit down. You've lost recess." And he said, "Shut the F up."
wow.
And I said, "Okay."
You took me, but
you get
let's
to
be
have recess
fair.
in the office.
You took recess from him.
Well, at the same time, sixth graders still have recess? What the heck?
No, all
no,
sixth
they do.
graders
I had
have
sixth grade
recess.
and recess.
They
Yeah.
don't play.
What school did
but
you
yeah.
go to?
Are you
They
joking?
didn't
I
have
went to a
recess.
private school.
They
so.
didn't. They don't play.
No,
How
you
have
hang
you
out.
know?
No, they hang
in
out.
sixth
They- in
grade,
the
we played
bathrooms.
butts
I
up
played.
every recess.
No,
Yeah.
in sixth grade with me, we got in
Because
trouble
your
with
feet
every
couldn't
game.
handle butts up.
That's what it
They
was.
would've-
Dice.
No, every
No,
game
hold on,
we
what did you
played,
do?
we would play too rough, or we'd get in trouble, and so eventually, like, we lost every right and privilege to like any of the balls or toys or things like that.
Well, and also
So
to be
all we
fair,
could do was sit.
In sixth grade, how tall were you, Jake?
As tall as the teachers.
Yeah, approximately the size of the PE teacher. So
No, but even still.
He's like, you're parking in my spot.
Yeah.
That's where my bike goes.
Sorry,
See ya.
I couldn't shave today. Sorry.
So that reminds me, you were playing too rough, and you got privileges taken away. Can you? What did your fifth grade teacher teach you how to do, Matt? Matt, I'll let me. Can I preface it? No, I don't want to preface it.
Do you want me to do
I
it?
want you to say it.
All right. Well, so should I tell the story of why
Yeah.
where it's from? Okay. So we mentioned, was it 2 shows ago?
No.
We mentioned stand-up comedy.
Oh.
That's what you want me to go with, right?
Yeah.
So one of the I guess you were throwing me a softball, so I could just sound real funny. But this is
And
used.
just like I lofted it right up there.
One of the jokes I wrote for when we tried stand-up comedy at the open mic night was
Not try. Did.
Sorry. What do we
Did stand-up
nailed?
comedy.
Hold on. And here's just a real quick thing for everybody who's going to do stand-up comedy in the future. Give it a shot. The F word isn't a punchline. Like,
True.
I'll acknowledge that there are a lot of stand-up comedians who use the F word artfully, and it's wonderful. But if you ever go to an open mic night, it's just a bunch of young people
Just
F-bombing unmercifully, and you're like, this isn't.
Well, it wasn't for us.
Apparently, 6th grade is the same too.
Yeah. So
So what Julie is saying is 6th grade is just one big open
mic.
It's
night.
equally funny.
there we go.
And I bet Shut the Blank Up teacher got a lot of laughs.
Oh, you know, it went like this.
Oh, you're so dead. Hilarious.
That's one of the ones where you stop and you look silently at the guy who, what was his name? Jesse James?
No, it was a different kid.
James Jesse.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but Jesse James was a kid at our school.
Right.
You just look at JJ and then you look at the teacher and you just go back and forth waiting to see who makes
Who's
the first.
who's gonna
And in
break
the background,
first?
someone goes. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, but almost. We need that sound effect now. I can't do it either.
Neither can I.
I think
We're horrible. Julie, can you whistle that? Nope.
I'm not playing. No, I'm gonna do the wow, wow, wow.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, but I can't
Whoa.
do the whistle.
By your powers combined, though,
We should fight crime.
Perfect.
or at least.
We need rings.
So tell the joke. Tell
Okay.
the thing.
Yeah.
So
Real
I
quick.
talked
Get there.
about in the 5th grade. I can't. I don't remember anything I learned in 5th grade as far as like long division or anything like that. But the thing I learned the most was how to play Smear the Queer. Did you?
I played
I
Smear
know.
the Queer.
Yeah.
Did you get that right taken away?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So
Soon.
the soon.
Yeah, real quick. We tried playing that, like, games come and go in seasons. But yeah, once
You
that.
mean the way they worked with us is how long could we get away with it?
Exactly, and we didn't
But
get
if you
away
want
with
to call
it
those
long.
seasons, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
The season of
we,
Smear the Queer.
We loved Smear the Queer. It was the best game.
Yeah.
Do
And-
you can I interrupt? Of course I
You
can.
already have.
Julie, do you see kids trying to get away with these games like Smear the Queer or punch the kid or throw the ball?
Or just full-on
with their
wrestling?
I don't know, just like, you know.
Well, we won't even let them play actual football. They have to. They can only play pass back because it just gets too rough and out of control.
Yeah.
They can only play pass
Yeah,
back.
welcome to
Oh my
recess.
gosh, what a bunch of just wussies you guys are letting them be. Is that all just a liability thing?
Well, it's liability, and I have a good liability story, but it's all liability and people getting hurt, and then parents complaining
That's
because
the point
their
of
kids
the.
get
That's
hurt.
that's
and-
why they. Let's go back to your game.
Well, the rules. Do you know the rules? I mean,
Yeah.
the rules to Smear the Queer are different than pass back. I think pass back.
Well, Smear the Queer, you throw the ball to someone, and then everyone just kind of attacks him, right?
Well, I was going to say it like this: in Smear the Queer, you smear the queer, much like in pass back, you pass back. So they're kind of self-explanatory. And what I realized when I was trying to write jokes was I can't do long division, which I teach in the 5th grade, but I can commit a hate crime. And so I was taught in the 5th grade how to commit a hate crime.
There you go.
And it was how to smear the queer.
How to smear the queer, yeah. I didn't know what the definition of the queer was yet, though, so I had to learn that later on in life.
Yeah.
I don't think because Smear the Queer has been around even since when I was a
Forever.
kid, which was a long time ago, and I don't know that it referred to that. I think it was just kind of a
It just rhymed.
It was just the weird kid who had the ball.
yeah, exactly.
Just a little off.
Well, the funny thing is everybody wanted to be the queer.
Right.
You wanted the ball to see how long he could survive. That was.
So different now.
It was almost.
The kid who had the ball wanted to be the queer because he got the most attention. It's so different now.
Yeah.
Way different.
Yeah. Times
But
have changed.
Speaking of time, we need to take a brief commercial. And so with that, we'll fade into commercial time.
If you enjoy seeing movies at the theater, don't wait in line. Purchase your tickets through Fandango at ninethrowmedia.com. Click on any of the Fandango ads to purchase your tickets and have them sent to your phone, or print them out at home. It makes it fast, easy, and it's reliable. Get into your movies first with Fandango at ninethrowmedia.com.
They coveted the jewels in these caves above all things, and soon they began to mine.
All right, well, welcome back to the Roy and Matt Show. During the break, we were talking about crazy things that happen with teachers, and Julie was talking to us about a fight that. Did you break it up?
I didn't. Well,
Did you see it? How did they start at that age?
it started in the classroom next to mine.
Wait, hold on. What grade were you teaching at the time?
I was teaching 5th grade.
5th grade.
Oh no, I'm sorry, 6th grade. This is when I was
Don't-
six.
What's your
Don't
favorite?
lie on
What's
this
your
show.
favorite grade
I think
to teach.
fifth has been my favorite.
I have always, if I thought if I was going to be a teacher, I'm going to teach fifth grade because fourth graders, they seem clueless, and sixth graders seem like they own the school. But fifth graders, when I used to coach basketball at that age, seemed to go. You would tell them to jump, and they would just hang in the air and waited for you to say it's okay to come down because
Well, it starts
they were
out
awesome.
the beginning of the year. They're just great and they're easy to work with, but you can see them starting to change toward the end of the year
Because they're taking on that role
and-
of moving into sixth grade.
Yeah, and at
being
the end of every
monsters.
year, I always think, I'm so glad I don't teach sixth grade.
And do they ever come to you and go, Julie, you've been promoted, demoted?
Well, that's what happened. Is I came to the school to teach a different grade, and then they shifted me to sixth grade a week after school started.
Oh, they tricked you, jerks.
Awful. And it was.
Did you, when they said, hey, you're teaching sixth grade, did you go, shut the up? Right to the principal's face, and he's
Maybe
going to
that's
go,
where the kids
Julie,
heard it.
you need to come and see me, basically.
During recess.
During recess. You'd have
Sounds
so much
inappropriate.
street cred if you just said that to the principal. All right, so
probably
anyway, back to
wouldn't have a job.
your fight story. Did you see it started?
I didn't see it start, but what happened is it was a connecting door, and we heard a commotion next door.
Commotion. What is-
And the door flies open, and someone says, call the office, call the office. So I got on the phone and called the office. Well, two girls were going at it in this other teacher's classroom.
How old were they?
Maybe seventh graders. Our school is K through 8.
Oh.
So they might have been seventh graders that were in there. Cause
Were
of
the
time.
boys just like going, wow, wow,
I don't know what they're doing. I don't even know what started this whole thing.
cat bite?
These two girls were going at it, and it was a male teacher in the other classroom, and he got in the middle just trying to get them to back off each other.
Right.
And one of the girls picked up a chair and threw it, and it hit him in the face, and he
did not have very good ninja skills.
he
was getting
did
hit.
not. But so he had to go to the district to claim workers' comp and stuff because he kind of messed up his jaw a little bit.
It's so funny. That's so funny. That is just not the thing that we would be thinking of right now.
Well, they got mad at
You know
him.
what? Where's the workers' comp claim here?
They got mad at him for trying to break up the fight.
You're just supposed to let
I
him
can see
go?
Well, that's what, and that, because I hear stuff all the time. Because if he didn't do anything, they would have yelled and screamed at him for not trying to do anything. And if he does something, they yell and scream at him
I'll
for
tell
trying
you
to
what
do
this
something.
guy
I'll tell you what to do.
What?
I'm claiming the conch right now.
I'm
going first.
I want the conch next.
This is why my daughter will be so great, because if they're fighting and my
She would
daughter
fart.
farts,
She would fart on them.
that's hilarious. Nothing breaks up a fight like a fart. Nothing. We
Well,
win.
I mean, a really big one.
Maybe as a teacher, I'll try that.
have you
next
ever
time.
eaten a Fiber One bar?
Dude, yeah, Julie's
They-
like, hey, quit fighting. Pull my finger.
See?
Pull my other finger.
Fights done.
Everyone start pulling everyone's finger. And then everyone's just laughing and farting.
I think farting
like it's
will
scout
cause
camp.
world peace. If enough of us fart.
Maybe. Can I have the conch?
Hold on. Yeah.
Okay. No, I have the conch now. What? It seems so anticlimactic now. Farting was so much better.
I buzzed in pretty quick.
All right. Well, I think we should defer to what my dad would do. And what would my dad do?
He would spray
He
bear
would
mace over the
spray
heads.
bear mace on all of them. And then you know what?
Himself
You know what I would
included.
do? I would take that bear mace can. I would turn it sideways. I'd spray them all, and I'd just drop it and
Kill
walk
shot.
away.
Like
and
gangster
go
style.
boom,
Kill shot.
boom, bear mace.
Not
That's
to
what I'm
bring
talking about.
reality
And
into
if
it.
you all want to see me, I'll be down at the principal's office.
Coughing
That's
up
it.
a lung with my eyes bleeding.
Got shards of glass
What?
in your eyes.
What?
I mean, not to bring
your
reality
eyes.
into it, but that's considered assault, though, wouldn't it? I mean, that's
What?
not something a teacher could
What
reasonably
is?
do.
It's
Spray
battery.
mace?
Yeah, use
Absolutely
ba-
not.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's too bad because it sounds like a totally reasonable option, though.
They don't go to us. They go to us. She teaches at a school where they can't play football. They have to play pass
Yeah.
back. Oh my gosh!
So what do they tell you to do though in that situation?
Hose them down.
or do they just
Nothing.
ignore it and pretend
Duck
it
and
doesn't
cover.
happen?
Fire extinguisher.
Well, apparently teachers aren't trained in the proper way to break up a fight, which
Of course,
whatever. And
I just-
you're
that's
just
not
supposed
human
to
nature.
Way.
contact the office
What
like
is
all
it-
of them are trained
what
in the
does the
proper way.
office do? They come in with like shields.
I don't know.
and
By the
just
time they get there, they've
push 'em
usually
down?
killed each other by then, or
Demerits for everyone. That's what the office will do.
Oh my gosh!
Well,
it's ridiculous.
that's fair, though, because if you've ever been in a real
Hot.
fight, it's exhausting.
Yeah,
If
it'll
you have to
stop.
make a phone call to the office and have someone scoot up from the office, they'll be tired.
Did you,
Well, I've had kids run in and say, Mrs. Lloyd, oh,
Oh.
Mrs. Somebody, they're fighting, and my first thought is, okay, I'll be there in a minute. You know, that's
It's exhausting to
Do
fight.
you run at them and go, listen, Hufflepuff is not going to win if you keep this up?
25 for Gryffindor.
So for those of us out there wondering, what would you suggest to solve that sort of problem? Like, what would be a reasonable solution to it besides kids not fighting in school?
Rex Kwon-Do.
I'm not sure.
Break the wrist and walk
Seriously,
away.
I would say, okay, I'll come out and break it up when I can, and just usually by the time, well, see, the problem is the kids, not the kids fighting so much as the kids around it egging it on. That's
Amen.
the much bigger problem.
Eggers. Were you an egger?
there-
Matt, were you an egger? Yes. Here's the funny thing. Matt was talking the other day, and we were talking about, I don't know, we were talking about this group of people, and we were giving you a hard time about what? About something. We were giving you a hard time about, I don't know, crying or, what was it?
It was either that I'm afraid of snakes or
That's
that
what it
I'm
was.
afraid of scary movies.
Snakes and scary movies. And Matt pointed out the other day, he goes, listen, I'm getting a bunch of credit about being scared of snakes and scary movies, but I can guarantee you I'm the only one that's done what? Got into multiple fights?
I've been in fight, yeah.
Been in multiple
I've
fights?
won and I've lost.
Jumped out of planes?
I've done that.
Jumped off a building
Done that.
in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I did. I forgot about it.
Got
I jumped off the
choked out?
stairs here. Thrice.
By the same individual.
Same guy?
Yeah. he
I got
me
into a
good.
push fight and got
Oh, that's
expelled
right.
one time.
I remember the choking
Not
out
expelled.
story.
Suspended. But
I'm
that's
not
it.
afraid of snakes or scary movies, but I've never even been hit.
Kudos to you.
Thank you.
You're not a battered
I'm a nice
teacher.
person.
Smooth
can I
move,
tell,
ma'am.
All of my fight stories involve me getting hit really hard and hoping someone comes to the rescue because I'm not that.
You're a tough guy. What are you talking
Well, if your
about?
best technique in fighting is you can just swallow a punch like a champ, you just do what you can.
That is okay. Go ahead. What's your story?
I never thought I'd share a fight story here, but my buddy, he called me up one day, and I was like, "What? You don't sound right. What's wrong with you?" He's like, "Oh, I got beat up real bad last night." And I'm like, "Wait, excuse me?" And he said that he was going to school in Texas, and him and a friend, they were biology majors. And they
You know what? Most great fight stories start out with biology majors. So
They were in the wrong territory.
Well, my buddy was crazy.
I'm gonna dissect that frog. No, I'm gonna dissect that
my
frog.
buddy was super tough, and they just finished a really hard final, and they went to a bar to celebrate.
Sounds so awesome.
It is awesome. If you knew this guy, he was like, I remember when I met him, and he's just like, let's go fight those guys. They're messing with us. I'm like, those guys are going to beat us up so bad. And he's just like, nah, we got this. I'm like, oh, you are.
What were they? Accountant majors?
No, this is at a party. Anyways.
Okay.
So he said he's walking out of the bar, and some guy's talking trash. And they're done, and they're going to leave. And he turns around to see, because he's like, it sounds like a fight's going to happen. So he turns around, and the guy points to him.
And he said, "Do you
And he's
like apples?"
He's like, "You're talking to me?" And they're at a bar, and the guy threw like a bottle at him, and he's just like, "You want to fight me?" And the guy's like, F word, F word, F word.
Right.
So this guy, he said he thinks he had 4 or 5 friends with him, so they all kind of fan out, and he looks at his buddy, and his buddy goes, I'm not gonna fight.
I would have all my friends stand behind me with their arms out, so I look like I had like 10 arms. That would be impressive. Don't fan out. Everyone just get really close to me and just kind of swing them, maybe.
Well, he
to the
said-
music.
His buddy goes, I'm not gonna fight. He's like, I will not fight these guys. And,
I choose not to fight.
and he looks at his friend. He goes, I don't expect you to fight. I expect you to drive me to the hospital when this is done.
Nice.
And he handed his friend his car keys, and his friend faded off into the thing, and he walked up to this guy, and he said he hit him as hard as he humanly could in the nose. He said the guy's face exploded, and then he laid on the ground in the fetal position, and everybody else beat him up for a few minutes. So they stopped it, and he had a chipped bone in his jaw. Like, they beat him up pretty bad.
Right.
But he calls me up, I'm like, why didn't you leave? Why would you fight 5 guys? And he goes, I had just seen The Matrix, and he said, in that guy's world, if he has 5 friends, he can talk trash to me and look tough, and that's real. He goes, but if he takes the blue pill, in that world, I'm going to punch him in the face, blow his nose up, and then just take my beating like a man. And I'm like, are you...
That sounds like a drinking story.
Wow.
He was not sober, but...
I would run.
Oh, me too.
I would be like the Matrix guys that run, and then I'm looking for a portal every single
Yeah,
time.
I'd run, and I'd be like,
as fast as
there's
you
no
can.
more phone booths!
I'll
Right.
be out of here.
Yeah, that's what I would do, too.
I
But-
jump off a few walls first, like Carrie Moss, and just
Carrie
Yeah.
Mo-
Carrie
oh my!
Moss.
Is that the lady that's in the Matrix?
She
We
has done
are
her
so
homework.
hosed tonight.
Hold on.
We are
Before we
so.
start-
You're going to thank me so
Hosed.
much when we get into taglines.
Just so
Hold
you
on.
know, as the newcomer, you need to know we don't refer to people by their given names. We refer to them by who they are. She's
Leatherpants.
the girl who made out with Neo.
Right, and she's the girl that killed Sirius Black.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
I'm calling her Sirius, aren't I? What's
Yeah.
her name?
Serious Black.
Sirius?
Cyrus.
Cyrus? I don't know.
Serious?
Whatever.
Isn't it Cyrus?
What is it?
It's
Just
Sirius
Sirius
Black.
Black.
Is it
And
Sirius?
you know
You're
what?
right.
I think that there's one girl uglier than she is, but
Then Bellatrix Lestrange.
all right. So anyway, what happened with the rest of your story? Was that it?
I don't even know where.
The guy got hit with a chair.
The guy got hit with a
The
chair,
end.
Yeah.
and then there's like no
Just that-
repercussions.
just the teacher thing. That's
you
that's
haven't,
a
and you
teacher
haven't
gripe.
been into a fight.
I've broken up a couple fights, but I've never
Right.
been. in a
Oh,
fight.
that's against the rules.
All right.
Well, welcome to the show.
Well,
Well, thanks.
you've listened to the show.
I have.
What do you think?
I think you guys are awesome.
Praise.
Now,
Good.
out of
More.
a scale of 0 to 10, or in Roy's mind 7 to 10, how would you
7
rank the
being
show?
lowest.
Well, tonight's will be a 10.
Oh!
Welcome to our world
Right
of
on that one.
narcissism.
I see why you invited her.
Exactly.
I do.
But what do you think? I mean, this is all new to us. Have we gotten worse? Have we gotten better?
Well, some shows are better than others.
Why are you asking
Why are
for
you
punishment?
Huh? Why am I here?
What's some
you love
are
me,
better
Roy.
than
What
others?
gives you the right?
Tell us that some are better than others.
Why do you ask questions when you know what the answer is going to be?
I don't know. Just because I want to hear her say they're all. So we're moving on to taglines,
Taglines.
and you are the
overly
challenger.
I am.
But are you ready for this?
Yeah. I'm a little nervous because I do have some disclaimers.
What's your disclaimer?
A
You own
disclaimer.
800 movies. How can you
I
have
do
a
own
disclaimer?
800 movies. I own a lot of movies, and I'm very immersed in the moviedom. But like I said, the Angelina Jolie ones, I didn't know all those.
Did you know Gone in 60 Seconds?
Yeah, I knew Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh, that's the only one I got.
I knew that one.
But no,
Mr.
and Mrs. Smith.
I knew Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
That's the only other one.
There was
I got.
one though that was weird that I didn't know.
Either way, but we talked before this, and I've been able to witness you guys playing taglines without me, and I do so good when I'm not here with you.
There's
guys.
pressure.
So
Yeah.
I don't want you to come in with like a false sense of like I'm going to kill everyone because
And my other thing
it's
is I'm
different.
not,
It's real.
because I'm older, like I have a lot of information in my brain, but because I'm older, it's sometimes harder to pull it up
Right.
on demand.
I don't know if that was an insult saying our brains are empty.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Not empty, just not
Well,
filled
anyway,
with much.
let's move on. Let's play.
All right.
Yeah, I have
We're
older
ready to go?
synapses.
Who do you have for us today?
So our actors for the evening are Chris Pine and Jodie Foster.
Chris Pine, who looks just like my nephew.
Really?
What's a Chris Pine?
A Chris Pine is what you generally go looking for when you're hunting for Christmas trees. Chris Pine, you will. It's
I
not
guess
in the
I'm
group.
gonna find
I actually left the movie out because it'd be an immediate guess. He was Captain Kirk in the latest Star Trek rendition.
Oh, I know him. Okay, moving
So
on.
yeah, so
I actually like this guy.
and he's a decent actor. I mean, what would you say? You saw Star Trek. Star Trek was pretty good.
Yeah,
Star
I
Trek
really
was
liked him in Star Trek.
Awesome.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to think what other movies he's been in.
I'm excited to see the new Into Darkness.
Don't think too hard. Just let your brain.
Yeah.
So
Keep it empty.
everybody knows the rules of the game. We're going to get right into it. The very first one, we're going to start with Chris Pine, and I've got 4 for each of them. So
Has
while
Chris Pine even been in 4 movies?
he has,
We'll find out.
I will throw this out there. He doesn't have a very long history of
gonna be
film.
a
Where did
short
he
round.
come from? Did he do TV or something before?
He wrote and did TV. He was a writer for a couple other stuff. He's listed
There's hope
as
for
a
us.
writer. Yeah.
We've
But,
never written anything though.
But he's got some more popular
How
titles.
old
in
is
here.
he?
I don't know. I don't have that up on here. I think he's.
I think he's cool though.
He's in
From
his
what
mid
I've seen,
30s.
He looks
From
like
s-
Sam, like my nephew Sam.
I don't know.
All the girls say so, Roy. So you should
I
agree.
Who are you to argue with all the girls?
Yeah, all the girls. All the
You've seen
girls.
Sam, do you think he looks like Chris Pine? I don't know.
Not a good judge.
I just think that Star Trek movie. I'm not a Star Trek fan,
Oh,
and
you're crazy.
I don't even like them. But really, you know what? I like Captain Kirk though. I like Captain Kirk.
would.
Well, he wasn't that kind of a
I-
Captain Kirk.
I know, but I like
Yeah.
Captain Kirk. He is so friggin' awesome.
Well, I'm a real movie nerd. I mean, I really like my sci-fi.
Right.
Yeah. You
Maybe
keep
we
saying.
should answer
Oh, don't even
all
go
the
there, Jake.
questions. Like Captain Kirk.
I can't think of
All right,
might
Logan,
lose.
try it out.
So you guys
Try it
might
out. Matt,
kill me
try
on
it
the
out.
first
Try it
time.
out.
No,
Can bring
No,
the
you
show.
got to try it out.
I'm
It's so
trying-
much fun. Matt, try it out.
I'm trying to get in the zone. You gotta.
Yeah,
I'm trying to distract
I could
everyone.
read all the taglines like this.
No,
All right, just
I
read
don't
it.
think any of that should happen.
But to answer the question, Chris Pine is 32. He was born in 1980, August 26, 1980.
He's like your guys' age. No, not like closer to Matt's age.
Yeah.
He's closest to Matt's age. So, are we ready?
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
first one. While setting his recently deceased father is. Wow.
Oh, I know this one.
I know this one.
I know this
English.
one. Oh my goodness.
Keep going.
While settling his
People
recently
like us.
deceased.
He gets the
people
money,
like us is
and he's-
correct.
Oh.
Sorry, I spoiled that one on the read through.
No, but I think I
Sorry.
should get that because I was the first one that went like this.
How recent was that?
It was 2012.
last year.
Last
It
year.
was 2012. Yeah. Most of the stuff that I had to pull from was within like the last
With Elizabeth
6
Banks,
years.
is that in? Is
I
she
believe
in
it is Elizabeth
No
Banks.
showing off.
Can't help myself.
Yep, it was Elizabeth Banks.
Are you up by one?
No, I got it.
Who got it?
No way, I got that one.
Julie had that
I
one
bet-
in the bag.
No, I made the noise.
She had the first full
Because he
title.
made the noise first doesn't mean you win.
All right.
Don't come.
Moving
in
on.
here
Sorry,
and
you're
make
winning
up
so far.
rules.
The next one.
You're a
Keep going.
guest here.
The story of the early days of California winemaking, featuring the now infamous blind Paris wine tasting of 1976, has come to be known as Judgment of Paris. It is an official film. I believe.
Next. Get to something that doesn't just blow.
Wine
making, and then like there's some sad man movie.
Star Trek.
You're talking about somebody who
get to
doesn't
some-
have a huge repertoire of movies. It's fine if you want to cut that one out.
Is
Do
it
you
Walk in Heaven or something
No.
like that?
No, do you guys
Gone.
want to pass on that one?
Pass.
Walk in the Clouds with Keanu Reeves.
Fast and Furious.
He was Keanu Reeves. No, Walk in the Clouds 2.
All right, so we're passing. It was Bottle Shock of 2008. Yeah.
heard of it.
Okay, so here's another one that is much more popular and well known. When a Las Vegas performer turned snitch named Buddy Israel decides to turn.
Oh,
his
that's
hand-
Smoking Aces. Smoking Aces. Dang it.
Yep, that was Roy. Smoking Aces.
I didn't know he was in that one.
Yeah, he was. Not a major role though, from what I remember.
Yeah, he's the guy. He runs out the elevator.
All
and
you had to
throws
say
the
is
stuff.
Las Vegas
Yeah,
Snitch.
Las Vegas Snitch. It was 2006. All right, so our next one and our last one for Chris Pine.
That's one for Chris. Is that 4 already?
Well, we threw out Bottle Shock, so yeah.
All right.
All right.
Manhattanite Ashley is known to many as the luckiest woman
war,
around.
war.
After a chance encounter
This means
with
war.
a down-and-out
This means
young
war.
man, however, she realizes that she swapped her fortune for
Ah.
his, and is not. This means
Oh,
war.
I didn't even listen to the rest of it.
That's the tagline?
Manhattanite.
Is that
Ashley.
the tagline or
Give
the
us
plot
another
summary?
one. Throw out 2 Chris Pine movies. Come up with 2 others. Star Trek.
Wait, keep reading the thing. I
Star
think I
Trek.
might know that one.
Okay.
You didn't have it.
Manhattanite Ashley is known to many as the luckiest woman around.
If she gets this, I'm claiming
After a
it's been too
chance encounter with a down-and-out young man, however, she realizes that she swapped her fortune for his.
No, I don't know.
Muppets Take Manhattan.
Just My Luck, 2006.
Just my luck.
Yep.
Muppets Take Manhattan.
Yeah, like I said, his other than Star Trek, I mean, that's been the largest film that he's been in so far.
I can think of one that was much larger than that.
Which one?
Actually, it wasn't much larger than that.
Oh, he was
but
in that train movie. with
Unstoppable.
Denzel
Unstoppable.
Washington.
Unstoppable. I
He
got
was
it.
Denzel Washington.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Train movie. Unstoppable. Bam.
Train movie.
I'm on the board.
What else? Anything else?
Yeah, I can throw in another one if you guys want to do one more Chris Pines.
One more Chris Pine.
Okay. Here we go. 2 top CIA operatives.
This means one more.
that-
Bam. 2 for Matt.
We all have one.
As playing for
Unstoppable
Matt.
doesn't count.
It counts.
Who was? You know who that other guy was? Tom Hardy.
Does he
Am
get a
I
point for
right?
that? You're
Reese
right.
Witherspoon?
It is Tom Hardy.
You know what? You guys ticked me off the other day so much because I didn't know who Tom Hardy was. I looked up Tom Hardy. So we can't use Tom Hardy in any of our. Was he in Warriors too?
He was in Warriors.
Not is Warrior. That's
Warrior.
what it is.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, with the
About
brothers.
the guys
with
who
the brothers
fight?
You know what? I own it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's really good.
It is good.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's about a teacher. You should watch it. Who doesn't
fights?
just break up fights?
Who takes a
He
punch?
Encourages
fights.
him.
Are you starting to like Tom Hardy as an actor now?
Nah, not really.
Not really.
Not as much
Okay.
as you.
I don't. What you said he was in Black Hawk Down?
He was in Black Hawk Down.
Who was
Everybody
he in Black
was.
Hawk Down?
Everybody was in
Everybody's
Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
I don't remember him. Who was he in Black Hawk Down? Minor part.
He was
Yeah, it was a very
Somalian.
minor part. I can't remember the name.
Somalian. Ay, 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 ay.
The other day, this
Those
is
guys would be so hard to shoot. They're
this.
so skinny.
This reminds me of that.
Those guys were great
Um,
shooters.
on Saturday I was somewhere and a guy walked up to me and he's like, "Hey," and he thought he knew me, and I'm like, I don't know you, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You totally look like one of my friends." I'm like, "Denzel Washington," and
you're really a white guy, and nobody can see that, and that's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. So the word picture
It's
goes
the
like this.
tats.
I'm white, so when I say Denzel Washington, and he just looked at me and it created like a good 15-second like pause. He's just looking at me. I'm like, I'm not Denzel either. And he's just like, yeah, I don't know, and he just walked off.
Man, you know what? I'm jealous.
It was awesome. I was really excited.
That's like an adventure.
Because generally I would think of that like 2 hours later.
No,
and it was right there for
Power
me.
of the pod, baby.
Yeah, I was stoked.
Man.
Yep.
All
And
right,
with that, let's
go.
do Jodie Foster.
Well, actually, you know what? We should actually take a quick commercial break between the two and split them up. We've gone quite a while, so we'll be right back after this. If you're like us, you enjoy your TV on demand. Try out the Hulu Plus subscription on our website by clicking on any of the Hulu Plus ads at ninthromedia.com. Get a free 2 weeks, even share it with a friend. It's a great and affordable plan for your television needs. ninthromedia.com. And we're back for the final half of Taglines. So we are going to end it up with I've got 4 Jodie Fosters ready. You guys ready for this
What's
one?
the score? It's one each, right?
It's one each. Jake, I don't think you have any.
I'm not even on the board yet.
So Jake, if you got 2,
if I get all
these
these 4, look out.
So are you guys ready to go?
We're ready to go.
I'm going to start with one that's older, and then we'll kind of hopefully work our way up in the timeline a little bit.
I just want everybody to know real quick, I'm prepared to argue to the death of me that I get unstoppable. So we'll put that out there.
Okay.
It didn't work for me in
we
any of the
didn't.
past episodes.
Unstoppable
Good luck.
wasn't one of the taglines.
You
But
read
it should have been.
You read the tagline. You said the one with the train. That's the tagline.
And I said that
weren't
there's
playing
one that
that.
was bigger than that.
And that was the
And
one.
that was it.
That was the
Well, had
one.
done.
Nailed it. All right.
All
Jodie
right.
Foster.
Jodie Foster, number 1. Mark Hammond, Mark
Summer-
Hammond is a
summer-
washed-up baseball player who is called back home
Summer
to handle.
school.
The clapping doesn't help.
It
Who to handle the ashes of his childhood
You're
sweetheart,
kidding. No,
first love, who has committed suicide as he searches
It's
for what
summer
to do
something.
with.
It's
Summer ball, summer days,
I
Summer's
know
Bee.
this one.
Summer of '69.
days of summer.
No,
That summer.
Days of Thunder.
movie.
not perfect pitch.
Pitch.
Field
Oh,
of Dreams.
man.
Punch Drunk Love.
No,
Armageddon.
Cars 2.
no,
Is it? It's not summer something. Am I saying it
I
right?
no.
totally
It
know
does not
this.
have summer in the title.
I've seen this movie, but it was like a million years
Only
ago.
girls have, so
Yeah,
you
but-
have a close shot
Yeah,
at
no,
winning
my
this.
mom made me watch this movie.
How about
Any
a
ideas?
movie that like a man would watch?
Okay, let's just agree as a team that was tough. What was it?
It was Stealing Home, 1988.
Stealing Home.
Stealing Home.
Yeah. And I think that's the oldest one of hers that I grabbed. Yeah, it is the oldest of hers that I grabbed.
Here's something you can cut out of the show. My uncle's in that. It's in the baseball game at the end. Trivia.
Really?
Moving
Your
on.
uncle is what? We'll come back to that.
Yeah. Okay, so coming back in with the next one, Dr. Ellie Arroway. After years of searching,
Contact.
Outreach.
finds
Contact.
That was Contact.
Dang it.
That's
that one.
literally the boringest movie. That's what we should have said for the hardest midnight showing of all time.
Oh,
Really?
man.
No,
I could not
that's
say
one of
wait.
our favorites.
Oh, no way.
Wait, it's one of my husband's favorite movies.
It's a great.
Your husband has got some issues.
It's a great
That's
movie.
true.
It's very slow moving. Like the whole idea.
I'll tell you, it wasn't slow. That ball getting dropped from whatever it was. Was Tom Skerritt in that movie? Right? Tom
Skerritt?
He's the guy with the mustache.
Matthew McConaughey was in it.
Matthew
I know.
McConaughey.
Tom
was in it.
Skerritt has only been in Top Gun.
That's the guy.
No,
He was the
Tom Skerritt was in it.
Yeah.
He's listed as a leading role.
What's his name in Top Gun? What's his name in Top Gun?
You roll, you're like, I don't know.
Colonel
He's
something.
in it.
Yeah, no, but he was in it. I would agree. Except Contact is it's a slow moving.
It's
It's a
horrible.
slow moving show. That's all. It's
Doesn't
good,
she
though.
go back in time so that she can spend time with her father?
It's not back in time.
Did she steal
It's
time?
heaven.
No.
She goes through a black hole.
She goes through a black hole. It's the machine
I wish she stayed there.
creates a black hole, and that's all there is to it.
Wow.
If you haven't seen the movie by
Animosity.
now, you should go see it.
No.
It is a good movie.
No.
Understand?
Logan.
I've
It's-
seen it. You've seen it?
If you haven't seen the movie by now, count yourself incredibly lucky.
I like the movie.
Put Barbarella.
It's something that
before.
takes. You just have to sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to watch this because it's a slow moving film. But I think that the payoff is there at the
I
end.
would I wouldn't have any hair on my arms because I'd be just sitting there ripping it all out trying to stay awake. If I had to. I'm not saying I have to. I'm just saying if I had to.
You won't have a problem with this next one.
What's
a
that?
cop has to talk down a bank robber after the criminal's perfect heist.
Inside Man.
Spirals. Yes, it's Inside Man.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah,
Is that really?
Denzel
He
Washington.
looks
is that-
just like me.
Is that really
He
a
does,
tagline?
That is it.
Where are you pulling your taglines from?
Do you read the tagline or do you read the plot summary?
I'm reading the tagline.
Huh.
The name of the game's tagline. What do you think he's
Yeah,
going to read?
tagline.
All right, keep going.
Moving on. So moving up to the most recent one.
Yeah, is this the fourth one?
This is the fourth one.
Jesus. All right, go ahead.
All right. A troubled husband and an executive adopts a beaver hand puppet.
Beaver.
As his so-
I think
got
I got
that.
that.
Roy got it. I think that's 3. I think that's your third, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is your
Yes,
third.
it is my
It
I
is your
only had
third.
2.
No, I'm at 3.
I only had,
I'm
I
at
only
3.
Had 2. I only had one.
Unstoppable. And the other 2 I got.
Hold on.
Actually, I think you're right. I think it is 2-2-2.
Well, that does it. The guys beat Julie.
No, that's it.
it's 2-2-2.
Wait, no, that was one of the original rules that if we were ever losing, we would combine our scores in an attempted.
False.
And find any
I didn't
way
hear
to
that
win.
rule.
We thought it.
Hold on.
I
Is that
thought
it?
it.
Is that
We need
the
a
last
tiebreaker.
one?
No, I'm going to bring up a tiebreaker right now.
Don't even make it a Jodie Foster one.
It won't. It's
yeah, no.
going to be a totally
I'm better
different.
at Jodie
It's going to be a totally
Sigourney
different
Weaver.
actor. Totally different.
Not
genre, in
Angelina
fact.
Jolie.
Sigourney Weaver.
Not Sigourney Weaver. No.
Michael J. Fox.
Mr. Miyagi.
No.
Pat Moriarty. Is that his name?
Moriarty.
Is that his
Wow.
Has
name?
he done anything besides Karate Kid
Wow.
and Happy Days?
Happy Day.
Karate Kid 2.
Are you ready?
He wasn't in Karate Kid, was he? Oh, yeah, he was. Back in Japan, right?
Yeah.
Well,
They
And
go
then
to,
that
Mr.
big guy,
Miyagi?
he had to, like, break the wood.
They go to
in half,
Okinawa,
didn't he?
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, man.
All right. So here's our tiebreaker, everybody. Set in Depression era Franklin County, Virginia, a
Is this-
bootlegging gang.
Outlaw.
Lawless.
Dang it.
Lawless is correct. Tom Hardy was the actor.
Of
I thought we were not doing Tom
And
Hardy
Shia
movies.
LaBeouf.
I got set up.
You know what? That's suspect.
I
That's
first
suspect.
I first went for Shia LaBeouf, and that it just worked
Transformers.
out as Lawless.
Transformers 2.
Eagle.
Transformers
Eagle
3.
Eye.
No, but yeah,
What's
she's
another Shia
correct.
LaBeouf
It is.
movie?
It is Lawless.
Holes.
Holes. Holes is awesome.
So I think that's the
You
end of
like
taglines, and we won.
That was the end of
Combined.
taglines.
It's also
and
in the second Charlie
Pretty
Angels
sure
movie.
that Roy won.
What?
Sorry, I had to for him. He looks so rejected
Julie.
right now.
You win for looking rejected? Of course Roy's going to win.
Welcome to the show,
Julie.
Julie. This is how we do things.
Let me just tell you something. Prior to the show, I wrote down Chris Pine and Jodie Foster and looked up various movies and wrote them on cards.
And I still beat you.
And I don't know where Logan got his friggin'
And I-
taglines, but
and I
they did
still
not
beat you.
match the taglines
And
I
I
had
still
written on
beat
these
you.
cards. And I had planned on burying you. And what the heck? I even texted him like, Chris Pine, Jodie Foster, and all of a sudden, I have like all the man movies, and then all of a sudden you picked up all the crazy
let's hear the ones that you did.
What?
know
Man
what I was
movie.
waiting
Doesn't,
for?
doesn't even matter now.
You know what I was waiting for?
It does because we won.
I was
All
waiting
right.
for Carriers from Chris Pine
Right.
and Maverick for Jodie Foster.
Right, and
love
those were
And
on
you
the
didn't
list.
touch him.
I'll tell you what I had on Chris Pine. But I talking
Okay.
like serious man movies here. Unstoppable, This
Okay.
Means War,
I got it.
Star
I got
Trek,
that one.
and Princess Diaries too.
Oh, he was in Princess Diaries.
He was.
too.
He was Nicholas
Yes,
Boudreaux
he was the
or
prince
whatever.
that she married.
Hold on, and then my Jodie Foster movies. You didn't even do Silence of the Lambs.
And No
Shame
Nell.
on you. Shame on you.
I know. Shame on me.
All of her like manly movies. So we had Flight Plan. Did you have that?
I did not have Flight Plan.
Oh, was Flight Plan the one
If you
where?
would have said something in the fact that if everything,
You wrote the whole tagline?
I tried to.
This
And
is
then-
what I remember about the movie Flight Plan. My husband sitting next to me the whole time, and I have to preface this by saying my husband is a pilot. My husband
Right.
sitting next to me the whole time saying, "There's no way that's inside an airplane. That's not the inside of an airplane. That's so false. That's so fake."
Oh man,
Does that ever get
Funnest
tiring
movie ever.
with his
Extremely
knowledge
tiring.
whenever it's an airplane based? Did you guys watch Flight with Denzel Washington?
You know what? Well, I saw the previews for Flight, and I said, "Great,
Gone.
you don't want to see this movie because it's just going to make you mad."
And
We never saw the movie. I could tell by looking at the previews, either way it went, it was going to irritate him.
no,
And-
we've seen it.
That's-
It's like the best movie ever.
That's the funny
Yeah,
thing
I've
about
never
that
seen
is I work in
I've never
insurance. I used to, and I've never had my feelings hurt the way they portray insurance people.
I've worked at a bank. And
Well,
I've had my feelings hurt.
When I was a risk
Incredible.
when I was a risk control specialist, and I saw that Jennifer Aniston and what's his name?
I don't know.
Gerald Butler.
Gerard Butler.
No, the funny guy.
Oh wait,
The short.
the funny guy. Danny DeVito.
He does a funny Tom Cruise impersonation.
I don't
Ben
know.
Stiller.
Along Came Polly. Is that a movie?
Along Came Polly. is
Oh
a
yeah,
movie.
Long Came Polly. Yeah, Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller. I was just like, man, you're nailing it the way you're portraying people in my profession. That was spot on. I was like, good movie. Perfect.
Well, but I can
Didn't
relate to
bother me
that
a bit.
because like I've done a lot of work in the IT field, and so movies that have a really strong computer focus or anything like that, a lot of the time
Hackers?
I look like Hackers. Hackers is a great movie.
I
for
I bet
that
those
sort of
guys
genre.
didn't have hexagonal 10.
This is
But
the thing that
whatever.
bothers my kids
Hexadecimal.
about every computer thing ever,
Uh-huh.
is whenever they're doing something, it's always making click, 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 click.
Yeah, no
Beep,
one
beep, beep,
types
beep,
like
beep, beep. No, not only that, but the computers are making beeping noises. Whose computer beeps when they
I'll
type
tell you
stuff?
who
I know.
does. Matthew Broderick's in War Games.
Exactly.
Want to play a
You
game.
Point
like
made,
to
thank
play
you.
a game.
Yes, let's play
Global
thermonuclear war
Yeah, it's just like
domination.
tic-tac-toe.
How
That's the
about
old kids
chess?
were. So anyway, well, you win, Julie.
No. We won.
I'm false.
You won the solo game. We won the team competition.
Way to
And you know
go.
what? Life's
And,
about teamwork.
Although we probably will never have you back for taglines again.
Whatever.
We don't even have here's a free
I'm,
T-shirt.
I'm working. I'm working
Thanks
on
for
a
the
prize.
T-shirt.
Here's a free T-shirt and a dirty sock that
Dirty
says
sock.
you win.
I want a picture of Jake's toes.
Nope.
Oh, brother.
You'll never sleep again.
Black
Nope.
and white.
I can guarantee you that would end up on a cover at
Show that-
Blockbuster, and kids would just scream.
Show that to Greg, and
Be
he'll
like a
be
horror
upset.
film.
Well, anyway, thank you for coming to the show, and you can tell all of your friends that you were on it and that you had a fantastic time.
You had a strong
I'll
second
tell them I
place
was on
showing.
it, definitely.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Win
I'm
with
kidding.
grace.
I
Win with grace.
Win second place with grace.
Next
okay.
time, bring a
Whatever.
teammate.
I know in my heart who won the game.
No, you won. I couldn't even cheat to win on this one.
You're dead to me, Roy.
My scheme
You're
was
dead to
not
me.
big.
You
not big
cheated,
enough.
and I still beat you, Roy.
You know, I was so worried about the cheating part of it that I didn't even focus on what the questions were because I was trying to identify key phrases
man.
I had written down. So I'd like to do it again if you guys if we have time right now. No, we don't have time
Do
right
what
now.
again?
The game, the whole game again.
No, show's
There
over.
is the next episode.
All right, well, you know what? We'll do something else on the next episode. But thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You bet.
It was nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you.
Once again, my name's Roy,
I'm Matt.
Jake, the intern.
I'm producer Logan.
and our guest is.
Julie.
Thank you, Julie, and that'll be it for today's show. Take care.